Hello, everybody. It is Thursday again, and I am happy to join you here for another live. Let's see, I'm going to get you guys up on my computer, if it cooperates. Oh, there we go. There we are. Turn off my sound on the computer. Perfect. All right. How is everyone's Thursday going? Mine's always enjoyable when I get to do some crafting. Awesome. We'll just give it a moment, see if anyone pops in. My apologies, I created the event, but kind of late. And I'm not exactly sure if I did it correctly. So I don't know if anyone got notifications through the event, but I'm going to train myself on how to set that up on Facebook and set it up more regularly for everyone. Yeah, so weather is absolutely stunningly gorgeous here in Calgary, especially for January, for the end of January. I think we're above 0 today. Hi, Cynthia. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, that's interesting. I was going to look up the weather on my iPad, and my iPad's connected to my headphones, which aren't even in my ears. So, go figure. And, oh, it is 4 degrees here today. We're supposed to get up to 5. Nice. It's a little bit breezy, which we normally get when it gets milder. But we'll take that. That's a pretty good winter. So you can see here in this corner, hi Jenny, I've got a little peek. This is some brand new 49 in market. I've actually got a few pieces of it because I'm going to be putting together a 12 by 12 album. So I thought before I started cutting into things to put that together, I'd kind of give you a little peek of this, but you're going to have to wait till after the demo. I'm going to make you guys wait a little bit. Give you a little peek of this. The new lines are up on the site, on the scrapshotz.com website for pre-order. So it is Timber and Weed is the one, and let me just check the name of the other one. Plum in something? I cannot remember. I will look really quick. Should be under new, I think, and give you the name of the new one. Plume and Petal. Yeah, so those are both up on the website, all sorts of goodies. But we'll take a little peek at the Timber and Tweed just at the end of this, after I'm done the demo. So last week I shared with you some of the new metallic inks, and then I've got this other set here, which is actually winter 2025. So we've got 3 different ink colors here. So I thought we'd do a little better pressing with these, just to show you how great these inks will work in your better press. And then maybe we'll try to do a little layout. We'll see. We'll see how far we get. Yes, Jenny. Yeah, that's right. Jenny is going to be making the Plume and Petal sample album. So, and that looks beautiful. Hi, Debbie. So let's get started with our better pressing. So I'm going to be using the Altenew Berry Whisper press plates. And this is in the store as a bundle. So you get the press plates along with the die set, the coordinating die set that cuts out your leaves. I always like to, technically this is a quote unquote Christmas stamp set, or even just winter stamp set, or pardon me, press plate set. I always like to try to kind of get extra use out of my products. So even though, the sentiments, of course, are more holiday related, but we can use these berry whisper, I guess we'd call it, leaves and berry press plate, and just kind of switch up your colors so they're not necessarily Christmassy, and use them for other things as well. All right. Excuse me, all of a sudden the frog decides to make an appearance in my throat. So let's get started. So I trimmed my paper. I've kind of lined this up, kind of eyeballed it. The paper is much bigger than I need it to be, but I want to make sure I can fit it on here for you guys when we're on live on camera. So I'm just going to lay my paper over top. How many of you have a better press? I love this thing. This was one of those tools that I told myself I did not need when it first came out. I said I refuse to look at it. I don't need it. And of course, then as soon as I saw it in action, oh, thanks, Jenny. Foliage. That was the word I couldn't think of. Yes, it is great foliage, and it would work great with lots of different colors. But as soon as I saw the demo for this Better Press, I was sold. I was like, I may not need it, but I want it. And I'm going to get it. So I'm going to tape my watercolor cardstock in place, or my heavyweight cardstock. And this is the Spellbinders cotton cardstock, which I had. Oh, here it is. It is this guy. So the cotton card panels, so it's 118 pound. So Spellbinders did a lot of testing on different paper types to kind of get the best results, and they found that this cotton card gave the best results. Yeah, you have one as well, Debbie. Yeah, I love it. You do not. But I had, yes, absolutely, Jenny. It is not complicated at all. I think it is one of the easiest tools ever invented, seriously. So I wanted to show you these inks, the ink swatch really quick here as well, before I forget. So we're going to be using, this is the mulled wine. And I'll just show you here kind of what it looks like on black, and then the winter fir. And I'll just tip that. Can you see that beautiful sheen there? And then the other color in this set is the one that I forgot to swatch. So I had to do it after. And it is the frozen, look at that shade of blue. It's just stunning, gorgeous. The frozen icicles. You use Hammermill 110 pound. Yeah, that would work. Yeah. I mean, I've even used like dollar store watercolor paper, and that seems to work okay. I don't always get the, deepest impression. Because when you're letter pressing, it's almost like a bit of a deboss, so it pushes the ink into the paper. So you don't always get as great a kind of depression on, like dollar store cardstock, but it works. All right, so let's start with, maybe we'll do one color and the other a different color so you can see them both. I've done a few ahead of time, and we'll play with those ones after, but I'm just kind of tapping and giving just a little bit of a twist. I'm not being too aggressive. What I found sometimes, if you kind of are really aggressive on the twist, you can end up kind of pushing your little plate around a little bit, and we just want it to stay in place. So the thing that I really like about using ink that's not the Better Press ink is it cleans up much easier. So I've actually got a little bit of green over here. Just going to wipe that off here. There's a little bit on here. Okay. And we'll make this guy blue, and then on the second one, we'll make them red. Jenny says, I use regular. Yeah. Oh, tone on tone. That'd be really pretty, Jenny. Yeah, you're 100% right. The image is still super crisp, even if you don't necessarily have that kind of deboss effect. It's kind of a subtle effect, I find, as well. So it's not like, I guess maybe depending on the press plate you're using. Okay, so I've got this tape down. I'm just going to flip that over. Okay, so now that's held in place. And just if you haven't seen the Better Press, how it works, I'm just going to turn this to the side here. So you can kind of see that your paper is suspended over the plate, okay, and then that plate is held in place by magnets. So once you run that through your die cut machine, okay, then that's when this is going to press right down onto that press plate. Oh yeah, it would be, Debbie. It would be wonderful for the flowers of the month. So when you've got your sandwich here all set up, everything inked, just make sure you pick it up by the handle here when you're transferring this to your die cut machine, because you don't want to kind of accidentally press this down. You just want it to run through on its own through the die cut machine. So I've got a Platinum 6 here, and I'm just going to run that through, give that a little push. And the nice thing with this, you don't even need to go back and forth. One pass through, and just move my machine. And there we go. There is our inked. So here I don't have quite as much blue, so I can go back over this if I want to deepen that up a little bit, which maybe we'll do that. So because this is held in place with magnets, or with a magnet, this is a magnetic base here, this gray piece, I can go back in and add a little bit more ink. Now, this is where it's really important that when you're running this through a second time to add more ink, that you make sure you're not, I would say that you're a little bit more gentle on inking your plate, because you do not want that plate to shift. Otherwise, when you put this back on, it's not going to line up correctly. And then you'll have to start all over again. And the other thing you want to remember is that you put your paper down the exact same way that you put it in the first time. I've done that before, where I've gone to re-ink my press plate, and then I flipped this top plate and messed up the alignment and had to start all over again. All right, so that blue should be, so you can just see how beautiful these colors are. And these metallic inks, of course, are water reactive, so kind of anything you do with a, there we go. Okay, and as this dries, that metallic shine is going to come through a lot more. Okay, let me show you ones that I did yesterday, so you can just see that shine. As it dries, it deepens. So you can see it just settles, and then as we tip that, see that beautiful shine on there. And this paper that I used here was just dollar store watercolor cardstock. Okay, so we'll pull this off. Just hold that up there, and then if I run my fingers over, I can feel that little depression in there. Okay, and so if you were going to, let's say, use this on a card, you could add some gems here, or just add a little bit of a different ink color if you wanted to. But great for adding gems or enamel dots. But let's give this a quick cleanup, and then we'll run another set through with the mulled wine. So I'm just going to use water. Just give that a spray. And where is my paper towel? Not beside me, but behind me. All right. And I'll give that a wipe. So if you're using the Better Press inks, then of course you have to use the archival ink cleaner to clean those off. This is this metallic ink. It's a pigment ink, but it cleans up really well with water. Okay, and we'll put that down, and we'll do one more set using the mulled wine, just so you can see how beautiful that is. So super, super simple. And if you wanted to, you could experiment with, applying your ink with a blending brush if you wanted to kind of have certain colors in certain places. And I'm going to align my cardstock here first. So you always want to tape your cardstock down before you start adding ink to your, I guess I have tape already, before you start adding ink to your press plates, so that it's nice and fresh and ready to go. You don't want your ink to kind of be sitting on your press plates for too long because you don't want it to dry out. Okay, so now we'll use the mulled wine. So I think these colors, the green and the winter fir and this mulled wine, would actually be lovely on autumn pages if you had something with fall leaves on it. Really anything. But this color is beautiful. Okay. And I love how easy it cleans up. All right. Yeah, I agree, Jenny. I love that you can use. Oh, Debbie, that's a good idea. Put flowers over the berries. That is an awesome idea, actually. You could do that. Even make them dimensional. That would be beautiful too. If you've got like some small flower die cuts, I might have to play with that later. I think you've just given me an idea, Debbie. All right. And there is the mulled wine. So beautiful. And again, as that dries, then you'll really see that shine, metallic shine, start to come out. Okay. So I'll just put that aside. And so I kind of thought, I'll talk while I'm cleaning this up here. It'd be kind of fun to incorporate these into a scrapbook layout. So I guess I can pull this off now. Okay. So you'll notice that there's a little color on the plate here. The plate is pretty much clean. I might go over it with the archival ink cleaner after, but sometimes some inks will stain a little bit, but don't worry if it stains. It doesn't affect color transfer with future inks. This might need a little more elbow grease. I'm just giving it a quick wipe off. Okay. We'll set this aside. And so, as I was thinking about maybe putting these together on a layout, thanks, Jenny, I pulled up the January challenge in the paper crafting group. And so if you haven't had a chance yet to play, please play along. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that even if you don't want to play 5-square bingo, I'm going to say pick any 3 things out of here and put them on a layout. We'd love to see your projects in the paper crafting group. So feel free to play along, even if you can't put all 5 things together. So I kind of highlighted what I decided to use. And so we're going to use the color blue. Hi, Kathy. Well, welcome here. Okay, so here's what I decided to do. So I took some leftovers. Remember I showed you guys that Nostalgic Memories album, the Gatefold Folio album? So I took some of the leftovers from that kit to turn them into a layout. So here's where we're going to start. All right, so we've got my bingo square. Use the color blue, so I chose this. It's like a blue-gray cardstock, just because it was going to work best. And you can see I'm kind of started playing around with how I was going to lay this out. Then what I've done is I had 2 pieces of paper left over from that album kit. So I trimmed them down to 5 inches by 5 inches. So I'm going to lay that out here. I'm going to turn that a little bit because my stand, I don't want to make you guys nauseous by trying to adjust the height. So we'll just kind of make it work like this. Okay, so I decided then we're going to do a little grid layout. I'm going to confess right now, I have like not one single clue what photos I'm going to put on here, but I was kind of inspired to lay it out this way. All right. Then then I cut some craft, and you can't go wrong with a grid design. So I'm going to lay these guys out here, again, 5 by 5. Now my other square on here is to add texture. So I'm going to add texture by embossing a 4.5 by 4.5 inch square of craft cardstock. Okay, and so I've got one done right here, and I'm just going to do the second square. Just going to give it a little bit of a mist and grab my folder. Now I cut it down to 4.5 by 4.5, or it might be 4 by 4. I can't remember now. I'll measure later, just to make sure that it fit in this embossing folder nicely. Because when I left it, like I was going to do the 5 by 5, but then it was going right to the edge, and I didn't want to have that line along the edge. Okay, grab all the accoutrements here. And so for this Lisa Horton 3D embossing folder, I do my A plate, my B, and then the clear plate on top. And that seems to work best. Let me just turn this around. It's hard to reach your handle. Usually I have this behind me, but we'll just do it on camera for now. All right. Oh yeah, Debbie. Yeah, Debbie says that is why I love crafting with people, because we can trigger many ideas. 100%. All right. So I think I'm going to put them this way so they're going the same way. There we go. Now we could add a little bit of inking to that. I'm not sure if I will. I may. But now I'm going to bring in these are some of the foliage I did yesterday. And so on this particular one, I actually combined the green and the winter fir and the mulled wine. And then these are all the bits and pieces I had left over from that mini album. Okay. So where are you watching from, Kathy? If you're still there, we'd love to know. So now I'm thinking the nice thing with these is we could create I might do that. We could create a little border across the center here, which actually happens to be my next square, which is create a border. And we can do that way. And I kind of prefer this. We might have to trim that guy because I would like, or maybe we just go 3. I think I might do just 3 like this. We want this guy in the middle. And then I do this guy here. So this is kind of when I'm putting together a layout, this is often how I work, of basically just moving things around until I like them. I kind of like the idea of these down the center, and then I would probably just adhere them like right down the middle here so that I can slide my photos underneath. Okay, so since I'm not like 1,000% sure what size of photos I'm going to put on here, I'm not going to glue these guys down here. So I can either fill this all in. I kind of feel like it needs a little bit more, that I would like it to be a little more towards the edge there, and this guy here, and then this one here. I kind of like it all the way across like that. Okay. Although we could also, if we wanted to, kind of set these guys on the corners, would be pretty as well. All around there. Probably over top like that. I kind of like the idea of tucking this underneath here and then just trim off the edges. But so lots of ideas. So that's another idea of how we could do that. And then my create a border here. On the back of, this is the laser cut floral packaging. So it's got all these little pieces that can be fussy cut. And I actually did fussy cut some of these last night, and then I kind of tore the edges of it because I sort of liked that. I really liked that torn edge look. But we could come in between here and kind of create a border in between. So lots of ideas. Too many. Too many. And I'm not going to make you guys sit around and watch me push things around to try to figure out what's going to go where exactly. But I just want to kind of give you an idea of how I'm putting some of these things together and then using some of these extra pieces. So I just want to show you that these are some of the extra pieces, and we could come through, and even if we wanted, which I might do, but I could come through and use these to create a little cluster as well that we could use on here. And we could add a little, maybe not a file folder, but I've got a few bits and pieces here, so, but that would just tie these all in together. We could do a little bow here. Oh, this is pretty. Look, I found a rose. I had a leftover rose. But this would be kind of fun to just layer into here as well. And create a little cluster that we could pop right on here even. So I'm gonna surprise you guys at after this is over by going through and kind of adding all these bits and pieces together. So just to give you an idea, okay, of how you can, if you want to play along with our paper crafting challenge, but then also kind of make use of some of these pieces, little extra pieces that you might have left over from any collection that you have. Okay, so it's going to be a surprise what this is going to turn, what this is going to look like, and what photos are on here. But I promise it will be up on the site probably tomorrow, just because I'm sure by the time I finish playing around with all this, it might not be bright enough to photograph. Debbie, no, the folio is not a class. I'm just going to grab, do I have it handy? Where did I put it? That is always the challenge in my craft room, is where did I put things? I know I just saw it the other day, and I'm sure I put it somewhere to keep it safe and sound. And I do not know where that is right in this moment. Otherwise I would show it to you right now. Like, I seriously just had it in my hand the other day. No, Debbie, it's not a class, but it is a kit, and the kit is $76.99. That part I do recall. I will post a photo of it on the Facebook page, the Scrap Shotz Facebook page, so then you can get a look at it, okay? Sorry about that. I literally just had it handy here the other day. Okay, and I'm looking. I'm sure it's right in front of my eyeballs. It's not like it can get lost. It's not that small. Okay, we'll find it. But let's move on. Okay. Janice, yeah, Janice, I'm kind of looking forward to it now. Now that I started clustering things, I think we're going to have a bunch of clustering happening on here because I like that idea. And so I'm going to gently slide this aside. I'm going to grab you some of the timber, the new timber and tweed that is on the website. All right. Ready for pre-order. So this is one of the new 49 and Market lines. And there will be a 12 by 12 album as well that you can create with this line. Oh, you're welcome, Debbie. Thanks. Yeah, sorry, I kind of feel like an idiot that I don't have that handy, but oh well, my bad. Actually, if you check out last week's Facebook Live, I think I showed that album. So it is up on YouTube if you don't want to wait for me to find the book and post photos in the group. Okay, so I don't have all the pieces in the timber and tweed line, but I'm going to show you what I have. This is what I'll be using to create the album, and I'll just flip that over so you can see the back. This is the ephemera and frame elements. So there are 88 pieces in here and lots of nature pieces. This is kind of fun. I like that. Wood frame, outdoor themed, I mean, beautiful. Log cabin themed. That is the ephemera and frames. And actually, maybe I'll pull out the papers and show you. I don't have all the 12 by 12 papers. This is actually kitted for the album. And so I believe that, how many pages come for the album? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8. Okay, and so this one is called Pine Needles. So that is, let's call it the A side. And then here's the B side. And then on the strip here, it's got a quote, so let the blizzard rage, we have books, blankets, and plenty of firewood. So that'd be great if you've got a, wish I had a cabin in the woods. It'd be perfect for that. This one is called Alpine Retreat. Okay, so you can see here too, it's got that same pattern at the top here. That's printed on here. And there's the B side. And again, the strip at the bottom has another quote, a window seat, a worn book, and the soft blur of a blizzard outside. Okay, then we've got, this one's called Fireplace. Wow, this is gorgeous. This really is beautiful, beautiful paper. And then here's our B side. So this would make a fabulous mini album as well. Oh, look at the little squirrel at the bottom. So cute. And this paper is called Scenic View. And there's another fabulous plaid. Boy, you could make some fabulous masculine cards with this line as well. So I believe we've got, I'm just going to double check because I think we've got the 12 by 12 you can pre-order. There's also a 6 by 8, which would be awesome for card makers. So you've got the collection pack, which will have these patterns, and then there's also the basics pack. This one's called Mountain Trail. It's got a little map there. And there's the reverse side. We traded traffic for the sound of the wind through the tall pines and the stress of the city for the deep, silent comfort of a small cabin nestled high on the mountain slope. Okay, and then this, so these two can go together. Look how perfectly that matches up. So beautiful 2-page spread. So this one's called Mountain Trail. This one's called Icy Adventure. So your left side, your right side, and then this has got a different pattern on the back. Okay, and then these two pieces would be in your solids. in the 12 by 12 basics pack. Okay, so we've got burgundy side there, and then that is what the flip side of this particular one is. So that's a peek at some of the papers. And of course your 6 by 8 pack will have the same papers, just shrunk down. We took a look at the ephemera and frames. Then we've also got the rub-on transfer set. So here we've got 3 6 by 12 sheets, and I can open this up because I'll be using it anyways and show you. Okay, and so there are the rub-ons. Beautiful. Hi, Laura. Okay, and then lots of little fir branches. I think those are fir branches. I'll have to ask my husband. He knows trees. Little geese flying. Okay, and then maybe pine trees, and of course they actually didn't do it 49 in Market. Oftentimes they print something on the back that then you can use, but they haven't done that in this pack. And then here's a peek at the laser cut elements. And wow, there's a lot on here. 137 pieces in here. So if you decide, once I get the album done, if you decide you want to do the album, the 12 by 12 album, I highly doubt you're using all 137 pieces of these laser cuts. So I'm sure you'd have some leftovers. Look at these. Beautiful. I'll be gentle with them. Okay, so there's the other. These are a really nice size, especially if you're creating 12 by 12 layouts. Some of these are really great. Take up some nice, look at the animals here. Got our bear, our bison, eagle. And there's the flip side. A little gondola. So, I mean, yeah, lots of different events you could scrapbook with these. Oh, and then this is the back side. So the back side of the packaging here has all these pieces you can fussy cut and use those on your layouts or your cards as well. Okay, so that is a little peek at some of the items in the timber and tweed. Those are up again on the website, as well as the plume and petal. So that's up for pre-order, and I think those are going to arrive like probably mid-Feb around there. So if you want to get your pre-order in and guarantee yourself whichever you're desiring. And again, we will have the sample album coming. Yeah, absolutely, Debbie. Definitely perfect for an Alberta mountain album. And Jenny's going to be working on that sample album with the other new line, the plume and petal. So keep your eyes peeled on our social media. And actually, I might even be able to borrow that from her when she's done to show it to you guys live. So that is what I have for you. I'm just going to bring back in my unfinished layout to kind of tease you, because I will be finishing that up after this live. And thanks, guys, for stopping in and hanging out with me a little bit. It's been nice to hang out together. And I will be back next week again, the same time. And I promise I'll get the events thing figured out in Facebook. so you'll get notification a little bit earlier. But yeah, it's been nice hanging out with you guys. And I hope you get a chance to do some crafting this weekend. And take care. Bye.